Hi, Chuck Fosberg here, and this is part two of Pat and my experience with COVID. So, in the first part, I talked to you about how we got sick and what our experiences when we were really going downhill with that. In this one, I'd like to talk about social media because, like everybody else, Pat and I are on social media, so we're posting things, and people are asking a lot of questions, and we're posting about our progress with COVID. So I've got some pros and cons. There were some surprises that came up with this. So this one's all about social media. So we're first of all we let everybody know that we had COVID, we had to quarantine, and also that our brokers were taking care of our business while we're gone, and I got a whole video about that too. So that way people would know, don't come by. If they call, they're not going to hear back for, maybe a couple hours because we were doing a lot of sleeping. So anyway, we did that, and there were kind of two kinds of responses to it. There were people who, of course, lots of people with well wishes, and that was awesome. It I always, type well wishes for people, if they're ill. But I've never really known whether or not any of that matters. But I can tell you, if you were one of the people who, just typed something that it was wishing us well, or, just all those nice comments, they really meant something to us. They really, really did. And I want you to know that. And if you don't generally do that, and I know most people don't, we're all busy, consider doing it because it really does make a difference. I never really knew that for sure. I've always just kind of done it because I know that's something it's nice to do. So I do it whenever I can. But it matters. It really mattered a lot to Pat and I. And then there are the other kind of people. They wanted a lot of information. They were concerned and they were curious, and there were a lot of people asking questions about, okay, what was our experience with it? Exactly how were we feeling? A lot of people wanted to know, how did you know you had it? And, what were the very first signs of it? And for Pat and I, the first signs were very similar. It was, headaches, a little bit of a cough, and a fever. So that was the first, and then that was followed by fatigue. And then it went downhill from there for us. So anyway, people wanted to know about that because people are concerned. They want to know because I'm guessing, and I was kind of the same way. Every time I coughed, I was like, "Oh my God, am I getting COVID?" So people are concerned about that, and I don't blame them because I was feeling the same way, and especially the way the media like they make it sound like we're all gonna die. So everybody's concerned. And a lot of people wanted to know a lot of personal information about our health too. And Pat and I are very transparent about that. There's certain things. I mean, there's a line where we'd rather not talk publicly about our personal health. Although people that direct message or someone that we know will tell you anything. But as far as just kind of putting it out there, and we weren't really about that. But a lot of people wanted to know, and people wanted to know very specifically what medications we were on, and we were very forthcoming about that. And that was where the surprise came, where the medication trolls. And I got to tell you, these medication trolls, a lot of them really, really. I got to admit, some of them kind of made me angry, and I'm not really one to get angry very quickly. And I kind of feel like people fell into two categories. I know, a lot of them, they irritated me at first, and then I thought about it and thought, a lot of these people, they're just scared. They just want to get as much information as they can because they're concerned about their own health and concerned about the health of their loved ones. So that was really understandable. They had a lot of questions. Some of them were kind of personal, but after thinking about it, I realized that they're just scared, and we were too. But then there were the people who were just straight up trolls. And the unfortunate part is some of these were people that we knew personally. And even one person who is a doctor, and not a medical doctor, but has a very specialized field of being a doctor. And that person even, criticized our doctor's choices for treatment, and criticized the diagnosis. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, you haven't even seen the patient, and you don't even know anything about the patient, what other health things might be going on, if there were co-infections going on. And that really made me angry. There were a few people who claimed to be medical professionals that that's straight up unethical, in my opinion. And I don't think it's a good idea to criticize a doctor's diagnosis and course of treatment when you haven't seen the patient. And that kind of made me mad. And again, I know everybody's scared, but those people were not helpful, because when you're casting doubt on somebody's course of treatment, when they're sick and they're worried about, I mean, we were in kind of bad shape for a while there, and particularly me. I was in danger of having to go to the hospital at that point, and the last thing that someone in that condition needs is to have people casting doubt and criticizing, and that was not helpful. And I don't know what their motives were for it, but it was uncalled for. And in the case of the people who claim to be medical professionals, in my opinion, that was just straight up unethical. So I'll get off my soapbox on that. But overall, the vast majority of people were just so kind. The comments, the direct messages, just checking in on us. We got a lot of texts, and it really helped. I had no idea we had so many friends that really cared about us. And we know a lot of people, or in our line of work as realtors, we know a lot of people. It's just the nature of the business. But we didn't really realize, how many people honestly were concerned about us. And that, I got to tell you, that changed my opinion of how important it is. We always, and I said this in the last video too, but we always try and, wish people well, check in on them as much as we can. And, because we really do care, and we try to show that. But this was the first time for me anyway, and I think for Pat, where we were on the receiving end of that. And I got to tell you, that was just awesome. I'm going to do a whole video just talking about that, because I've got a lot to say about that, and a lot to say about the people who just really made a difference for us. So anyway, social media, some pluses and minuses. We're always very straightforward. We don't have any secrets, but I don't know. We maybe should have brought the line down a little bit on that and only discussed specifics with people that we knew. So I don't know. Maybe it helped somebody. I'd like to know that in the comments. Let me know, was it helpful to know specifics about medications and diagnosis and stuff like that? Or, I'd like your opinion on it, because who knows, we may get sick again someday. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. That was my experience and Pat's experience with social media. And in the next video, let's see, I wrote down a note here. What's the next video? Oh, about our course of treatment and getting worse. We continued to go downhill. Pat was getting well pretty regularly, and she was doing pretty good, had, not so bad experience. My experience was different. I'll tell you about it in the next video. So thank you for watching. I hope that you and your loved ones are happy and healthy and staying well. Do everything you can to try and keep from getting sick. I can tell you it's absolutely no joke. And, just do the best you can, and you'll be okay. So thanks again for watching. I hope you're well. Take care.